Hello, denizens. Your former network executive here. And as you can tell, I'm not in my studio area because my son is doing a 3D print and it's very loud and it's also in the same area. So, as promised, with every green light or not video, I provide a final verdict. If you saw my Skeleton Crew video, I gave it a green light without hesitation because it looked like fun, had lots of special effects, and while the kids were, not so good, the producers had serious cred, and the prospect of having Jude Law and the Star Wars brand put it over the top. The series came to an end just recently, and I have to say I was wrong. It was complete trash. Now, as I always warn, the first job of entertainment is not to be good, but to be watched. And in that case, also, it seems no one watched Skeleton Crew. Its viewership was worse than that of the egregious Acolyte. I guess you could say, I guessed wrong. It happens. I stand by the fact that the first episode had all the pieces to be successful. Many have commented that the Star Wars brand is so busted that even a naked Pamela Anderson brandishing blasters from her woohoo would not have attracted an audience, although that would be interesting to watch. That could very well be the case. But it didn't help that Skeleton Crew was so bad, there really wasn't any reason to watch it. Yes, it was supposed to be a kid's adventure, but even then it was unbelievable nonsense. First of all, the whole plot about returning to At-Aten so that pirates could raid the gold credits treasury was, also just a way to return the kids to their homeworld, which was their primary goal. And we got a chance to reunite with their lesbian parents so they could get involved in the final showdown. It didn't work. The planet was being invaded by a pirate army. I always talk about having stakes in a story, but this was too big and out of whack. The kids were required to do things that were way out of their pay grade and not clever. If you think of Home Alone and what Kevin managed to do, that would have been the scale this show needed and would have been far less overblown. Big is not always better, and more often it's actually worse. I mean, in TV. Oh, and there was the standard Star Wars turn off the space shield bullshit. Please, no more Death Stars, no more space shields. I won't go through the story because it was so intensely dumb and contrived it was painful. Oh no, the spaceship won't take off unless the couplers are unlocked. Oh no, the electricity has to be turned off first. Oh no, Wim's dad will do it. Of course, the pirates went to the same school of blaster aiming as the stormtroopers. Jude Law had to be threatening one instant and then pulling it back the next. I mean, he couldn't very well lop off the heads of the kids with his lightsaber. And speaking of the kids, Wim was still the best by just a bit. Fern was just plain awful. KB was a boring cipher. Neil was useless. In fact, both boys were useless. Thank God for girl bosses. There was really no chemistry between any of the kids. Nothing was organic in the series. It was plot armor, top to bottom. The scale needed to be reduced to something like what One Piece did. As a kid, you want to be able to say, I can do that. Well, oh yeah, sure, maybe with a bit of practice, and if you laid off the junk food and got off your goddamn phone, maybe you could. Suddenly, we had Neil elephantining a space cannon when required, and that hurt me intensely. Confining Jude Law, I'm not going to use Jodna Nawood in that stupid room with the overseer for most of the last episode was also painful. Who writes this shit? Characters came and went from the room as needed. Special effects blasted things as needed. My God, it was bad. So that's all I'll say. I think you get my drift. The show quickly descended into major suckdom. Skeleton Crew will not save Star Wars. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.